Hello students, good morning. Myself Sashi Rai from Green Valley English School. In class 11th Political Science, we are reading the chapter Judiciary. Today we will start from this paragraph. Besides, as we saw in the section on jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, in the case of federal relation to, the Supreme Court can use the review powers if a law is inconsistent with the distribution of powers laid down by the Constitution. That means हमारे यहाँ as you know, according to the Schedule 7 of Indian Constitution, there are three lists. The very first one is the Union list, after that state list, and the last one is the concurrent list. In Union list, there are subjects which are being or the laws or which are being made by the Union government. In the state list, whatever the subjects, the laws and whatever the new amendment or bill being introduced by whom, by the state governments. And on the Congress list, there are the subjects on which both the central government as well as the state government can make laws. So also the distribution of powers as well as the federal features, if it is being violated by any government, then the judiciary have the power to review it. Suppose the central government makes a law which according to some states concern a subject from state list, then the state can go to the Supreme Court, and if the court agrees with them, it will declare that law unconstitutional. मैं वही कह रहा था, according to Schedule 7 there are three lists, one is union, second is state and third one is concurrent list. स्टेट लिस्ट के जो सब्जेक्ट हैं जिस पे लॉ बनाने का अधिकार किसके पास है, अथॉरिटी किसके पास है, पावर किसके पास है, वो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट पे पास है. So if there is any subject of a state list and the union government is trying to make any law on that particular subject, that means it is violating the constitution. In that case, that particular state government can go directly or approach to the Supreme Court that these particular subjects are mentioned in the state list, then why the central government or the union government is making the law. So kindly declare it unconstitutional. So the court agrees with them and it would declare that law unconstitutional. In this sense, the review of the power of the Supreme Court includes power to review legislations on the ground that they violate fundamental rights or on the ground that they violate the federal distribution of power. अगर कोई भी ग्राउंड हो जिस पे कोई लेजिस्लेशन लाया गया हो हमारे यूनियन गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा, इवन स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पास पूरा अधिकार है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज़ द फुल पावर टू डिक्लेयर इट अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल और इनवैलिड. द रिव्यू पावर एक्सटेंड टू द लॉज पास्ड बाय द स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर ऑल्सो. Even if the state government is passing some law which is violating the constitution, then also the Supreme Court has the power to review it and declare it unconstitutional. Together the writ powers and the review power of the court make judiciary very powerful. That is most important thing. The review power of what nature? The writ powers as well as the review power of the judiciary, it makes the judiciary very powerful. In particular, the review power means that the judiciary can interpret the constitution and the laws passed by the legislature. Whatever the laws being passed by the legislature, it can even interpret that. What is the meaning of that law? If a layman does not able to understand the laws passed by any state government as well as the union government, then the Supreme Court itself or the High Court itself go and interpret that particular document or the bill of that law, and it will say that whether it is according to the constitutional norms or not, whether it is following the constitutional norms or not. If it is violating, it will declare it unconstitutional. Many people think that this feature enables the judiciary to protect the constitution effectively. As you already know, the Supreme Court as well as the High Court is also known as the what? The guardians of the constitution. They actually guard the constitution. Otherwise, these people from the legislative and executive, they will try to manipulate us. They will try to manipulate the whole legislation process. So these are the basically watchdogs. These are the protector of our constitution. And also to protect the rights of citizens. Also they protect the rights of citizens, as you already know, through the writ powers. The practice of entertaining PILs has further added to the powers of the judiciary in protecting the citizens. That means जब से ये PIL आया है, पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट लिटिगेशन, तब से ये राइट्स की भी बातें होने लगी हैं. जो सिटीजन्स के राइट है उनके बारे में भी कंसिडरेशन लिया गया है. नाउ Do you remember that in the chapter on the rights we mentioned the right against exploitation, article 23 and 24, if you know that. Article 23 and 24 related with the particular right, that is right against exploitation. This right prohibits forced labor, trade in human flesh and prohibits employment of children in hazardous jobs. But the question is, how could those whose rights were violated approach the court? If I think of a situation when a child who is just 7 or 8 years old, he do not know anything about the law, the legislation process or whatever the constitutional provisions regarding him or her. So in that situation, if he is being employed in a hazardous job, how he can be approached to the court? That is very impossible thing. That's why we took the notice of what? We took the notice of PILs. So let's see, PIL and judicial activism made it possible for our courts to consider these violations. These things ensures, PILs and judicial activism ensures that all the things are followed and no one is being deprived of their rights. So PILs and judicial activism play a very important role. Thus the court considered a whole set of cases, the blinding of jail inmates by the police. Even there are some situation in Bihar when some acid was poured in their eyes of the inmates in jail by the police department itself. It was against the human rights. Inhuman working condition in stone quarries, sexual exploitation of children and so on. There are too many types of crimes, as you already know, in this world. This trend has made rights really meaningful for the poor and disadvantaged sections of the society. और इनसे क्या हुआ, ये ट्रेंड से क्या फ़ायदा हो रहा है जुडिशियल एक्टिविज्म से? जितने भी डिप्राइव्ड हैं, जो एग्रीव्ड पर्सन है सोसाइटी के, उनकी भी बातें सुनी जा रही हैं, उनके बारे में भी कोई केयर कर रहा है. दैट इज़ द बेस्ट थिंग ऑफ दिस जुडिशियल एक्टिविज्म. एक्चुअली दिस इज़ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट मेरिट, यू कैन से, very most important thing, very important point of this judicial activism. So students, that's all for today. In the next class we will discuss the judiciary and parliament, and thank you so much. I hope you people liked it. I hope you people understand the whole topic. Thank you so much.